Hey, how's it going everyone? This is Lam here. In today's video, I want to take a look at some of the technology Fujifilm has shown us and also where some of the camera body technology is going towards and kind of give you my speculations on it. So let's go ahead and get right into it. The first thing that I do want to talk about is this right here. We've seen a huge commitment on Fujifilm's part to really shrink down the IBIS system and to also make it available for pretty much any camera system that they want to put it into. At this point, if you look at the S10's IBIS unit, you can pretty much fit it into any of the camera bodies that they have currently going, which is very interesting because I think the only ones that won't get it is the price point cameras, like the entry level ones where they're trying to stick to around $600 to $700. But eventually, I think with all of these IBIS units, it's going to get affordable enough to where it's going to become a standard feature, which is something that's very exciting. The reason why I say that is because when you look at the Fujifilm's lens roadmap, a lot of their best lenses are prime lenses and they don't have optical image stabilization. They're really affordable, they're sharp, they're very compact, and it's just really nice lenses to have. A lot of the zoom lenses has optical image stabilization, and this is where I think Fujifilm's really needs to concentrate on to make optical image stabilization and IBIS work together really well, especially for video. For photography, I think it really works pretty well right now. The reason why I spent so long talking about this is there are rumors of a GFX body, and I bet you there's going to be a new IBIS system for the GFX. This is something that would be really exciting because the first generation of IBIS systems, from what I can tell, I don't really have much firsthand knowledge of this, seem to work really well. So it'll be very interesting to see if there's going to be a second generation of IBIS and whether or not they can actually improve the stabilization. They really need that effective IBIS unit, and also they really need to bring the price down because right now I've been using a lot of the full frame cameras and they perform really well. So in order to close the gap in terms of performance to the full frame cameras to where a GFX can be an all-purpose general camera, there's going to be a lot of work to be done, and it'll be very interesting to see if the next generation of GFX cameras can continue to close that gap and also continue to lower in price, because we know the sensor is very expensive. They don't really sell enough of it to where it can drop down in price very quickly, but who knows. One thing that I would actually like to see is a refresh of the 50 megapixel GFX cameras, because I would really love to see a next version of that, except with much more enhanced or better video features in those camera systems. And it would definitely be a very interesting videographer camera to get into if they were to actually refresh those with really good 4K specs. Now I'm going to go back a little bit. They talked about a modular GFX camera, and this was something that was interesting. It looked like a prototype that they were just playing around with, but if you start looking at what other camera systems are doing, specifically the Komodo with their box cam, and now Panasonic just came out with one of their own in terms of the Lumix camera line, and we also know that Canon is also coming out with one of these boxy type cams. So this is definitely a trend that's going on in video, and it's something that you should really pay attention to if you're a photographer or a videographer. There obviously is a lot of demand for it when you have 4 to 5 camera brands jumping on this type of design. So it's definitely something that the professionals should really look at to see whether or not they actually need to change up what they need to focus in on, because it's a brave new world with 2020, COVID, and all of this stuff that's going on. We just might have different demands in some of the career paths that we're used to seeing. They just might not come back to full strength for a very long period of time. So it's something to be aware of. Personally, for myself, I would love to see Fujifilm's kind of make a dedicated GFX or even an X-mount camera that's really just focused in on video, because they would be entering into a new market and they would actually be able to grow their brand. But these type of cameras, they would actually make great studio cams. I've even thought about looking into some of these, because with this particular type of setup, it would actually be great to have something like this set up permanently and to be able to actually talk straight to my computer. So definitely something to pay attention to for the remainder of this year and also going into 2021. But let me know what you think. That's all I have to cover for this week. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Please stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video.